Hi, it's Jennifer again. Today I have a video for you that shows you two fun techniques that could be used separately, of course, but I put them together on one card. One is staggered die cuts and the other is creating a clear card. I hadn't done a clear card in a while, so I decided to do one again. You can see the bottom of this card is clear. And then the die cuts there, these are from Lawn Fawn. I staggered them together just to get a completely different look. I'm going to start with the die cuts and then we're going to go on to the clear card part and then back to the die cuts to finish it up. So this is the die that I used. It's a new one from Lawn Fawn. I just think it's fantastic. There are a lot of cursive dies out there, but I love that this one is kind of playful and fun. So it works for very happy cards. So I'm going through and die cutting it from just some scraps of cardstock that I have. These all happen to be Simon Says stamp cardstocks, and I just like the colors and the thick quality of them. So here you can see how detailed this die cut is, and then I have them in a collection of colors. I think I did 6 colors here, but you could do as many as you wanted to. Now I'm going to go ahead and start stacking these together with some strong adhesive in between. I'm using my Glossy Accents from Ranger. I love it because it's quick and easy. See how fast this is? I'm just putting tiny little dots as I go, and this will hold it together very well. So I'm starting with my top layer first. I decided to have blue on the top. So I'm picking it up with my tweezers. I love these because they kind of clamp onto it. And I'm laying it down onto the green piece. That'll be right underneath it. You could start on the bottom and work your way up, whichever works for you, but for me, for some reason, I just thought this was easiest. And I'm going to use my fingers to make sure that they're pressed nicely together so that they stay put as I add the other layers on. Now you could do this staggered die cut with really any kind of die cut that you have. I just thought it'd be fun with this playful greeting, and then it's really the only element I'm going to have on the card, so I'm just going to let it stand out. So I'm just going to continue to do this for all the layers of the die cuts. I really think having these little tweezers is helpful because they clamp on place and it helps you to make sure you get it right in the right spot, but you could just use your fingers if it's easier. So I'm just going to continue to do this until I have my entire piece layered together, and I'm only having it staggered just a slight amount so you can see all the colors underneath. If you wanted to, you could layer them on top of each other perfectly without staggering them and just have a rainbow effect from the side. Now after doing this, I decided I wanted something darker on top, so I'm going and adding on a blue die cut, a dark blue die cut. I just felt like it kind of finished it off better. So now that we have the die cut assembled, I wanted to go ahead and show you how I created the clear card. I used a new die from Lawn Fawn. It's this speech bubble border die. You can see it here. This is a fantastic die because it can be used horizontally on a card, or it can be used on a vertical card. And you could put a little animal under there so it makes it look like he's talking. I'm just using it kind of as a fun border on this card. I'm going to keep it real simple. I have 2 pieces of white cardstock that I have put underneath this border die. I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Any die cut machine works. And I'm cutting 2 pieces at the same time. Now I want to end up with 4 of the same size pieces, all 4 exactly the same. So I have 2 more pieces of cardstock here. I'm going to use that little leftover bottom piece from the first run through, and I'm going to hold it down there on the bottom as a guide so I know where to put the die for these second 2 pieces of cardstock. So I'm putting it right up against that edge. I'm going to take my tape and tape it right there so it doesn't shift when I run it through the die cut machine. And now it'll cut my second 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'll end up with 4 pieces that are cut exactly the same with that little speech bubble border on the bottom. So now let's go ahead and put our clear card together. I have a Hero Arts acetate note card here. It's a super thick, clear, folded piece that works perfect as a note card. I noticed I had some adhesive on it, so I just wiped it off with an alcohol swab. Now I'm going to add on the front here one of our bubble die cuts. So I want this to really adhere nicely to that acetate. So I have this super strong adhesive from Tombow. It's called Tombow Extreme. And this is 6 times stronger than any other tape runner. And since I want to make sure this really sticks to that acetate, I'm going to go ahead and use this. You just use it how you would any tape runner, but then when you want to lift it off your paper, you just pull it off to the side to break the strong adhesive. So I'm going to stick this onto the front of the note card. I'm kind of lining up with my table to make sure it's nice and straight. And there we have the front of the card. Now the other 3 pieces are to cover the other sides of the card, but what I'm going to do is just cut a hair off the top of each of them. This is because some of these are going to go on the inside and we want the card to be able to fold nicely. So by taking a little bit off the top, it makes some room for the fold. Now this second piece here, what I'm going to do is put some adhesive on it. You can see how I just run the adhesive, and then when I'm done with it, I just kind of pull it off to the side. Now I'm going to take this piece and glue this on the inside of the card. This will be the spot where you can write your personal message to whoever you're giving the card to. Since we shaved a little bit off the top, it'll fit into the crease just nice, perfectly, and it'll line up with the front of the note card. Now this may look okay at first glance, but our adhesive shows through on the other side of the acetate. So I have the second two pieces to cover it up. This first one I'm taking and I'm adhering it to the back of the note card. So this is where you could write, this card was handmade by Jennifer. So that's the exact back of the card. And now the fourth piece, we're going to adhere to the back of the front flap of the card. So now all sides of the card are covered with the white cardstock. They all line up perfectly and it looks nice and clean. So this is just a fun way to add an interest to the card, is to make it clear. Something that's unexpected and you don't see every day. Nice and clean cut, and I love that border die. It's really fun to use. If you wanted to, you could just die cut that bubble piece and put it on the front of a regular card. Now I have some glossy accents here to add this onto our card. Pretty simple design, so of course I decided to do what I do and add some shimmer and shine to it just to make it pop. I thought that fun color needed it. So I'm taking my handy Wink of Stella pen. This is just a shimmer pen that just kind of brushes on. And I'm making sure to put some of the Wink of Stella on all layers that are showing. Now for the glossy accents, I decided instead just to put the shine coating that we're doing here, on just the top blue one, so that it kind of intensifies the Wink of Stella that's underneath it. So this is just a really easy way to take a die cut and really turn it into an embellishment. I really wanted to add something to the inside of the card also, so I used this greeting. It's another Lawn Fawn product, and I thought it was perfect to go with the outside. It's just a great way to tie them together. Now before I go, I wanted to show you a couple other cards. I didn't video these because they're pretty simple, but they're using some of the new Lawn Fawn products. Here I took the Hello die. I layered up 5 pieces of the black die cut together so it was real nice and dimensional. Added some glossy accents on the top of it and put it on the front of a note card. Now I added some of their fun sequins, and you can see I kind of layered them on top of each other, and I put some gems in the center too. I love the Lawn Fawn sequins. It's a nice mix, and they even have some cute little flower ones in there too. This card is quick and simple, but it uses the same die and also layers die cuts together, but perfectly lined up. And I had some fun with another stamp set from Lawn Fawn, this Soy Happy For You. I just thought this was cute and fun. I'll have pictures of this on my blog, but I wanted to show you it as an example of how you can really take a pretty simple card, this is just stamping and coloring, and add some interest to it by adding glossy accents. I put glossy accents on the hearts so they shine, and also on over the soy and that bottle of soy on the side. It draws attention to it to match the greeting. So I just thought I'd show those 2 cards quickly. You can see more about those cards over on my blog. If you're interested in any of the products that I used in this video, you can check the YouTube description below, or again, at my blog I'll have links for everything. Thanks so much for visiting, and we'll see you again soon.